Hey there, this is Natural Fitness Lifestyle. Listen, if you want to learn how to do your abs, today is an excellent time to learn because I'm here to answer your questions, all your questions about abdominal training. Now I know you've seen all these guys here, they got waist, but do they have the ability to have this at 62? That depends, and you went away. That's okay. It depends on how many correct abdominal exercises you do. Listen, I'll give you a little background. When I first started working my abs, I had no clue. And to make things worse, I had just suffered a very bad back accident. An accident where a piece of roof, 10 stories above, more than 10 stories actually. So I'll give you a little background. Piece of what you call an eaves, part of the roof that fans out that protects the windows from storms. It's made out of a combination of concrete, wood, tin. It fell from 13 stories and it hit my back. Now you may be saying, oh, this guy's making this up. 1998, March, March 10th, go to the New York City Department of Buildings and submitted a complaint about it. You don't believe this actually happened. You could go there and check. Another place you could go check is an article written about me. It was a little bio. You can't find it on the internet. It's called William Nico. William Nico, the culture of bodybuilding. You can find out, and it was written by Pietro. Pietro has an online magazine called Muscle Media or something like that. So we're talking about abdominals here. Any questions you have on abdominals, please feel free to ask. So back to my little bio. Piece of roof fell. 13 floors hit me on my upper back. Had I not taken a step forward, it would have landed on my head, and I wouldn't be here explaining abdominals because I wouldn't even have a body. I would be dead. I almost died. Yes, I would have been killed hadn't I taken a single step. Had I not taken one single step forward, boom, the piece of roof from 13 floors would have fell on my head, breaking my neck, and I would have been over. But I took that one step, fell on my back, injured my back. Today I have a minimum of 13 herniated discs because of that accident. Now, a lot of people are going to say, oh, because you did the exercise, blah, 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 because you lifted weights. No. Had I not lifted weights, had I not worked my abdominals, I would have a posture hunched over. But I don't. Thanks to abdominal training, I have proper posture and I'm able to support my back without the need of a big girdle, without the need of a big, large back brace, and without a cane. Why? Because I train my abdominals. Training abdominals has to do with a lot of stability exercises. You went away. When you do your abdominals, you have to do your planks. You also have to do the planks in multi directions. Side to side, moving your legs side to side, moving your legs in a rotational manner, lifting one arm at a time, lifting one arm and leg, rotating your torso, rotating one arm, alternating, rotating the other arm. This exercises the internal abdominals, the intrinsic stabilizers. You also have to make use of an exercise ball. Some people call it the Swiss ball. People call it the physio ball. Now, a lot of people say, oh, that's baloney. Just, do 100 sit-ups, you're covered. No, because your abdominals work to resist movement in rotational, forward and side to side. Sit-ups are just forward and back. They do not exercise all the internal stabilizers. You have your internal stabilizers to prevent rotation, prevent side-to-side resistance. When you use a physio ball, which in a prior video I demonstrated, you're exercising and you're gaining a strength besides the abdominals. You have obliques that run across your abdominals, across your rib cage. You can only gain those by utilizing like the physio Swiss ball and doing rotations, doing stability exercise where you're rolling the ball back and forth, rolling the ball sideways, but you want to maintain the alignment of your torso and your legs. Very important to use the physio ball, the Swiss ball. Okay, it's a big ball like this, comes 555 centimeters, 65, 75. Now, you also do exercise variations of leg raises. You could lay on the ground, you could lay on an inclined board and do leg raises. You could get harness straps, or you could hang from a pull-up bar and raise your legs. You can raise your knees, which is easier. You may have seen a prior video. I had put up several videos of me raising my knees, holding on to a harness. That is very challenging because you're trying to engage your lower abdominals and your obliques, but you also have to steady the straps and not allow your shoulders to come up. See in the video, you see in the video where I'm doing the harness leg raise, I'm trying to maintain my arms at a 90-degree angle while I lift my pelvis up. So I'm not just lifting the knees up, I'm actually lifting the pelvis up. That is what I'm doing when I'm doing a harness knee raise. So, here we got somebody waiting. Adriano. Oh, good. I'm glad. How are you? I'm talking about abdominals. See, I had a bad accident in 98 what almost killed me and hurt my back. The doctors didn't help me because, doctors, unless you have $1 million in your bank account, they're not going to fix your back. Back surgeons come expensive, and there aren't a lot of good back surgeons. I heard, Adriano, that only 20% of the best back specialists and the best spine surgeons are not even in the United States. So anyway, I had to learn how to work my abdominals, not just this, but here. See? The obliques. This is what keeps my back straight. If I didn't have obliques, I didn't have abdominals, I didn't train this area. When I started out, I just could only do planks. Very important. I also did just a side bend. I didn't use any weight. Eventually, I was able to use light weight. A light dumbbell. They work here. I also do leg raises. I do my knee lifts hanging from a strap. I do my leg raises lying on an inclined board. My favorite way to work abdominals is lay on a ball, do leg raises, do crunches, do sit-ups. I place my arms on the ball and I move it side to side, forward and back. Very important. But when I first started abdominals, I started with two basic exercises. One was the lying crunch, the other was the knee lift. Now, because in '98 I had a very debilitating accident where a piece of roof fell from 13 floors and hit my back, injuring most of my spinal disc and my vertebrae. Even to this day, my eighth thoracic vertebrae is actually protruding backwards. Yes, that is technically called retrolisthesis, which is technical word for broken back. Yeah, you're looking at a person with a broken back. How do I do abdominals with a broken back? Yeah, because since 1998, I started out mostly with the leg raises. I couldn't do any crunches. I tried to do crunches, but it hurt my back. It hurt the nerves in my back. My nerves was too painful to do any type of flexing. So all I did was leg raises with the knees bent. I learned how to inhale, but I also did planks. I really didn't know. I didn't pick up, going back to 1998. I wasn't into bodybuilding. I wasn't into personal training. I was just a guy who suffered an accident and I had no one to teach me. And there I was with a bad back accident. It was very painful. And all I could do is lie on the ground and do knee lifts. And I couldn't, when I was doing my knee lifts, my leg raises, I would bend my knees. I wouldn't be able to lower them to the ground. I would only be able to lower them slightly and then up again. Basically, I was lying on the ground and pointing my knees up. Lower them a little bit and come back. That's all I was doing. I was only able to do it 10 times. Can you imagine? So basically, I'll show you how I started training my abdominals in 1998. By the way, I weighed 214 pounds while all this was happening. Okay. So I was laying flat on my back. My knees were already up, and all I did was this. That's it. That's all I did. All I could do was 10 times. Yes, in 1998. That's all I did for abdominals. I did that 10 times, 4 sets. Then I went to bed. The next day, I had to go to work, which involved walking between 7 and 10 miles. I had no other choice. I had to pay my rent. In 6 months, from 214, I went down to all the way to 184 pounds. I lost 30 pounds. Then started doing pull-ups and push-ups. Well, push-ups and the pull-ups also help strengthen my core because the push-ups I was doing a close grip and I exercised my obliques because I had to stabilize. So the push-ups, close grip push-ups were a form of a plank. The pull-ups too, because I was stabilizing my torso while pulling up. So those two basic exercises also help strengthen my core. But I still didn't know much about personal training. I still didn't know much about exercise. I picked up a magazine and I seen all these bodybuilders. And I remember when I was a kid, all the bodybuilders with great abs, but I still didn't know how to train them. The only one exercise that I did understand and was able to relate to was the leg raise. Because most bodybuilding exercises in the magazines involved doing crunches and sit-ups, but I could not do those exercises because of my back accident. All I can do is the leg raises. And like I said, the close grip push-ups and pull-ups. So after 1 year of this, I was able to do also I learned a little bit about the side bend, but I was able to do a crunch where I had my legs elevated. The reason why I was able to do a crunch only after my legs elevated was because the legs elevated takes, number one, it takes pressure. When you do a crunch with the legs elevated, it takes pressure off your back. But also, I was not emphasizing lifting my neck. How I learned how to do a crunch properly is by moving through the ribs, a short movement. How I was able to build my abs despite 13 herniated discs is by understanding that the short movements are the best for abs. It's not all these big movements that work your neck. I could not do those movements because I had herniated discs. And to this day, that is the case. So I do short movements and I learn how to breathe correctly. Now, you may wonder, well, why do his abdominals get so pronounced? That is where you introduce resistance. The resistance of your body weight, for example, on a leg raise, is as follows. If your body's flat on the ground and you're raising your legs, that's resistance. But if you're raising your knees, you bend your knees, you have less resistance. Now, if you raise your torso while raising your legs, now you have more resistance. If you hang from a bar, you have the greatest resistance. This is how I did my leg raises. And I learned how to do my leg raises from the ground to being able to hang from a pull-up bar and do leg raises. Now, many people may ask about sit-ups. Like I said, the sit-ups hurt my back too much because I have herniated discs. To this day, they do so. No sit-ups for me, with an exception. When you lie on a physio ball, the physio ball removes the involvement of your hip flexors. You have to engage your core to maintain your balance on a physio ball. The physio ball also allows you to support your spine in the natural curve so that you're not moving from your neck. If you do a sit-up on the floor, you have to bend your neck excessively. Not if you're lying on a rounded exercise ball that conforms to the shape of your spine, allows you to do a crunch moving from the ribs without having to move your neck. So let me rewind that. On an round exercise ball, you are able to do a sit-up without moving your neck by only moving your rib cage. That is very important. That is why I only use a round exercise ball if I'm going to do sit-ups. Now, a lot of people say, oh, well, you see these guys, they got a dumbbell in their leg. That is bad. So you see somebody holding a weight either on the legs or on the hands, doing a sit-up or leg raise, they're exercising the hip flexors. They're shortening those muscles in hip flexors, and when they get older, they're going to be hunched over like this. Yes, and they're going to have bad backs and spine. All these guys, Instagram, big shots, utilizing weights on their legs, doing sit-ups, holding big weights, they're just going to have bad backs when they get older. They're not going to be like me. So you don't need to be holding these big weights. If you want to have resistance, use your own body weight. Or utilize resistance bands. So if you Doing a side bend, you can hold the weight, but you must do it properly. But again, you do not have to utilize a dumbbell or plate to do a sit-up or leg raise. If you want resistance, use a medicine ball, much more practical. There are exercises on the ground that are easiest. Like I said, you could do crunch, but you only move short, in a short way. There's something called an abdominal mat. It conforms to the shape of your lower back, to your spine. It helps you support your back. But if you do a crunch, you want to move in a short way, but you want to maintain the curve of your back. Just because you're doing a crunch or a leg raise on the ground, does not mean your lower back should be flat. You see a lot of people, they say, flatten your back, press your back against the floor while you're doing a leg raise. Incorrect. You must maintain the curvature of your lower spine while doing a leg raise. I don't see any questions here. Questions are vital. Now, I know you've seen guys with great abs and everything, but it's about you. It's about how your abdominals are going to benefit your lifestyle, benefit in a way that makes you feel better, where you can not have injuries, where you can perform all your daily activities. So abdominals not just about looking in the mirror. It's about how they make you feel, about how they help you do your activities in your daily life, in your work. How they prevent, yes, even diseases, because they help your digestion. They even help your heart function. And you know that they even help you breathe. The internal core muscles, diaphragm, the pelvic floor. These internal muscles help you breathe. So they give you more oxygen. They give you a sense of well-being. Your abdominals are here to give you a sense of well-being as well. It's not just about looks. So you could you see a guy in the cover of a magazine and you want to look like him. But do you know that years from now he may feel horrible? I'm 62. I'm going on 63. Thanks to the way I train, the way I exercise my abdominals, which is the way I exercise my abdominals is different from the 99.5% of all the people out there in social media, the way they exercise the abdominals. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a gym set up here to show you. I have my gym set up in my garage, but I cannot set up my laptop in my garage because it's not my garage. I rent a room, so I can't, I just can't do it. It's not practical, it's not realistic. I would like to show you how I train my abdominals, but the setup is in my garage, which is not my garage, so I cannot put my laptop there. And I cannot fit exercise equipment in my room. But anyway, I'm going to end the live stream because I see I don't have any questions. I don't have any viewers. And this is a Q&A. This is about taking your questions on how to do abdominal exercises. Now I realize that everybody maybe they don't want abdominals or they're not interested in doing abdominals. It's very hard, but it's fun, especially once you get used to them. All it takes is the first 6 weeks. That's it. 6 weeks, and you start learning to love your abdominals. You get in touch. You get the body awareness. This is what we're trying to do when you exercise your abdominals. Get that body awareness. Learn how to breathe. Make the breathing feel good. Make your abdominals contractions feel good. This is how I'm able to get these abdominals and maintain them. I have not missed an abdominal workout since 1998, 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, but always 3 times a week. Since 1998, I have not missed one abdominal workout. And my abdominal workouts have gotten bigger, included more exercises, included a variety of different exercises. Variety of abdominal exercises is very important. You should always train a variety of your exercises if you want to continue to train your abdominals and improve your abdominals. So I'm going to end this live stream with that thought. Variety in abdominal exercises is key to developing them. If you have any questions, go on to my channel, which is Natural Fitness Lifestyle, and I'll answer any questions you have. I'll answer also when I'm on my live stream too.